In this video we're going to be creating our first level in terms of graphics. We're just going to base that on one very basic platform design, which we'll repeat to give the impression of a much larger render level. So currently I've got a few objects on the stage which I can just remove as they're now in the library. I won't be using them again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and just create something like a basic platform. So I'm going to use a shape. I'm going to use a rectangle tool to start off with, and I'm going to choose a colour that looks a little bit earthy but maybe a bit bright. I'm just going to draw a rectangle like that. We could leave it a basic platform as such, but I think we should put a little bit of grass on the top. So I'm going to have a brush. I'll choose an angular head, a smallish brush, and a greeny colour. Okay, and that means we can just go over the top with a bit of a jagged line to create something a bit like grass. Okay, put the rest there. And with a smaller brush, the level of detail and variance you get is actually probably better than that with which you'd achieve with a larger brush. Okay, maybe some bits that hang over, maybe some variable lengths, plenty of variable lengths because grass is never the same size, and then maybe also variable colours. So I might just have a smaller brush and a slightly more yellowy green. It's a bit too much. Let's just use the colour picker to find something a little bit closer to the original colour used. There we go. And that just allows us to put some extra detail in there. In this example I'm not going to worry too much about how it turns out. Okay, and then we'd maybe want some snow on top. Now you can achieve snow using a brush, maybe using a rounded brush with some white, and then we can just draw over the top of our grass in places. So we've got some grass perking out of the top. Snow tends to lie in funny places. You could also perhaps achieve this using the spray paint brush, but for now that's what we want to achieve. So with the selection tool I draw a marquee, right click, and I'm going to choose convert to symbol, and this will be a graphic symbol. Registration point doesn't really matter, we'll set it to center in that case, and I'll just call this platform 1. And you might decide to have a variety of platforms, you certainly would with a multi-leveled game. And what we're going to do then is we're going to zoom out, and we're going to be using either the copy and paste feature, or if we can make it work, Alt click drag. It's not currently working, so I will right click and I'll copy that, and then I will paste using Ctrl V, and just bringing in some certain pieces like this. The level needs to be quite big in comparison to the window. This stage is just the visible area, and I'll just create some more bits, pieces everywhere. you can actually do is, if you've got a long bit like that, you can copy that and add in some longer bits. I'll paste in a very long bit at the bottom to define the width of the level, and you can liberally decide the size of your level. Flash will expand the stage or the visible area for you to work on the workspace based on the amount of information that you've drawn. That seems fine, and I might just copy and paste this bit and then move that over to the other side of the screen, and then maybe just copy a few more individual ones to go a bit higher up. Okay, and then we select all. Now you can do this by either dragging a marquee around the whole thing, or you can Control A, and everything that is on a layer will be selected in this case. So I'll right click and I'll convert that to a symbol, and this is going to be a movie clip. A movie clip can just be called level in this instance, and I'll go into the library ready for later use, and that is the level created.